Hi folks, John Ambrosic here with Smail Cadillac in Greensburg, and today we're going to do a ride along in the 2020 Cadillac XT5 Sport that we have sitting right here in beautiful stellar black. We're going to get this thing out on the road, go over some of the features with it, and give you a little education on the vehicle. All right guys, so we're going to go over some of the features on the exterior of this vehicle that make it a sport and set it apart from the premium luxuries. So as we come around to the front of the vehicle here, people are going to say, well, it looks the same as the other XT5s. That is true, other than the grille right here. So the grille in the sports, you're going to have this black kind of like mesh look to it. The other premium luxuries, in the luxury you're going to have, it's kind of little, almost looks like little Cadillac emblems with a little chrome on the front. So that's the big tell up here in the front. This vehicle is equipped with your LED headlights, and it's going to have, this is the upgraded headlight system, so it has a turning light. So right down here, you have 3 LED lights. So at night, what those are going to do is when you're turning either to the right or to the left as the steering wheel turns, these lights are going to kick on and illuminate over to the side. So as you're going around the bend, it lights up that side that you can't really see typically. So it gives you a little bit better line of sight there. As we come down along the passenger side, again, what kind of sets the sports off from the other vehicles, you're going to have all of your chrome strips that you usually have around the windows and your roof rails, which are normally a brushed aluminum. These are all going to be black on the sports. One of the other things is you're going to have body colored door handles. So typically on the premium luxuries, these are going to be a chrome with a strip over here that usually illuminate at night when you come up, but the sports are all going to have the body color. Again, it's just kind of eliminating some of the bright work to the vehicles. As we come around the back, again, setting apart from the sport and the premium luxuries and luxuries, you're going to have the neutral density taillights. So those are going to be a clear lens with your LED lights that run down alongside there. So when you activate your brakes, those LEDs are actually red inside there. So they're going to illuminate red, but you have kind of this unique look with the neutral density taillights as opposed to the ones on the premium luxury where this lens cover is actually red. Come around the back here, you're going to have your dual exhaust, and you kind of see down here around the bottom, this diffuser along the bottom is going to be black again on the sports. This one has the parking sensors front and rear, so you have those, and these are all going to come standard with the hands-free liftgate. So it's a little hard to see here during the day, but as you walk up to the vehicle with your key fob, you're going to get a Cadillac logo projecting down on the ground here. And I'll tell people, usually in the day, it's a little harder to see it. So just kind of as a point of reference, you want to use this little backup sensor right here is kind of where that sensor is underneath for the hands-free. So what you're going to do, again, key fob in your pocket or on your person somewhere, you're going to come up, kick your foot right in and out near that sensor, or again, if you can see that Cadillac logo, and it's going to open up your hatch here for you. So as we get into the back, you're going to see here you got a lot of cargo space. This has the privacy shade here that you can pull over if you have stuff here, keep people from looking inside and see what you have. Very easy to remove this also. It's just spring loaded, so you can just slide this forward, take it out if you need something a little bit taller in here and maybe that's in the way. This also does have your storage bar that goes across here to kind of help keep things from sliding around. And then this one here, you're going to lift this up, you have storage underneath. And then this one here is not equipped with a spare tire, but it does have a self-inflator kit and you know, something to, if you need to, small puncture, there is fix-a-flat in there, so it's just to kind of get you to somewhere to get a tire replacement or call roadside assistance if you need to. So again, that's really nice too, because if you're going out shopping and maybe you have a purse or, you know, some bigger items that you really don't want to carry around with you, you can store them underneath of there. They're out of the way. Nobody's going to know that they're under there. And as we look in here, you're going to have, you have a charger back here, which is nice. So if you're back this way, it's a cigarette style charger. So if you need to plug something in, you do have that option to do that there. And then you're going to see on both sides of the vehicle here, you have a handle on this side, a handle on that side. So if you're loading something into the back of the vehicle and you need those back seats in the second row folded down, rather than have to go around to the side of the car, you can just pull on those handles and the seats are going to fold down for you. So that's a really nice feature too. All the XT5s are going to come with keyless entry, so it's a really nice feature because, again, just makes it more convenient. You have the push button start, you have the hands-free liftgate. You don't really need to take the key fob out of your pocket or out of your purse like you normally had to do when you had the keys. So it's really nice. The driver's door, you're going to see going around the vehicle, actually all of the door handles have a little silver button on them. And those buttons are your keyless entry in and out of the vehicle. So the driver's door is going to act like your key fob did in the past. So previously with your key fobs, you hit unlock one time, it unlocked the driver's door. You hit it a second time, it would unlock all of the passenger doors on top of that. So this is going to do the same thing. Again, if you're by yourself, you're just going to push the button one time, unlocks the driver's door, the rest of them are locked. You hit it a second time, it's going to unlock all of the doors. As you get out of the vehicle, push the button, locks the doors. There is also a setting in the touchscreen that will automatically lock the doors for you. So that's a really nice feature, because if you tend to maybe forget that you locked them, it's really nice because what it's going to do, it's going to make sure that none of the other doors are opening up as you get out of the vehicle. Once that door is closed, it's about a 10-second window. Make sure that none of the other doors are opening up. If the doors do not open up, it's going to beep the horn. You can set it, or it's just going to lock the doors. Either way, but it will beep the horn to indicate to you that it is locked them, and it will lock the doors. Will not lock them if you leave the keys in there. So I know a lot of people always get worried that if that have that set and they leave the keys in there, they don't want the keys getting locked in. That's not going to happen to you. It will detect that the keys are in the vehicle, so that won't happen. Again, if you're on the other side and maybe you're just letting passengers in, you have those passenger buttons where you're just going to hit that door. It's going to unlock all of the doors to allow people entry into the vehicle. Let's take this thing on the road. All right, folks, so here we are on the inside of a 2021 Cadillac XT5 Sport. We're going to take it out on the road and show you how some of the features operate and work. So this vehicle comes equipped, the way that this one is equipped is a 3.6 liter V6 all-wheel drive system. And the nice thing about the all-wheel drive is you can turn it on and off as needed. So, you know, summer months when you don't need the all-wheel drive, you can put it in front-wheel drive, get yourself some better gas mileage there. And then when you need to switch it into the all-wheel drive, you have a mode button that's located right here on the center console, right up here in front of you on the driver information screen, right next to your odometer. It's going to show you what you're in. So right now it's showing 2WD, front wheels are lit up, showing you that you're in front wheel drive. So if you want to put it in all-wheel drive, you push that mode button, switches to all-wheel drive. That little indicator is going to flash, and then once it stops flashing, all the wheels are lit up. It says AWD, you're in all-wheel drive, and you're ready to go. This also has a sport mode, which is all-wheel drive, and then you're going to see one that says off-road. So I know a lot of people ask, well, I'm not really taking the car off-road. That's more of a setup there for if maybe bad snow, maybe you're in mud, ice, something like that, where it's going to adjust the way that the transmission shifts, just the steering wheel sensitivity, and also your sensitivity for your gas and brake pedal. The same thing works that way for the sport mode. Sport mode is going to give you a little bit stiffer steering, a little bit more sensitive gas and brake pedal, and then you're going to get a sportier shift to kind of get a little bit more performance out of the vehicle. This vehicle also comes standard with your forward collision and the lane departure warning. So again, down here on the driver information center, you're going to have two little indicators there. The top green car is going to be for your forward collision. The bottom one is your lane keep assist. So the lane keep assist, it's going to keep track of you maybe drifting towards the lines. Maybe you're reaching over into your passenger seat to grab something, or take your eyes off the road to, you know, get something with the kids in the back seat or what have you. And what it's going to do is, if it senses that you're drifting towards the line, it's going to steer you gently back into the lane. So I'm going to demonstrate that real quick, and don't recommend doing this at home. I just taking my hands off the wheel here to show you how it works. But we're going to drift here towards the line. You're going to see that little indicator turn yellow. The steering wheel, again, just gradually steers you back into the lane. It's going to do the same thing there if you drift over to the right. And then obviously your forward collision is just going to give you a notification. And what this is doing is just trying to keep you at a safe distance from the car in front of you, depending on your speed and the distance you are to that car. If it thinks that you're too far or too close to that car, if it were to suddenly stop, to make you be able to stop safely enough without hitting them, it's going to give you a warning. And what it's going to do is up in the top of the front part of the dash here, you have a little indicator that's down in that little cutout, and it's a little row of red lights. Those lights are going to flash and reflect on the windshield there, right in your line of view. And since this has the driver awareness seat, the driver alert seat, it is going to vibrate the seat to let you know that that sensor is going off. This also has your side blind zone with lane change alert and rear cross traffic. So I have a car coming up alongside of me here. So on the driver's side and the passenger side, you see a little indicator. Looks like a star in a car. And when that person is in your blind spot, that is going to light up to let you know that there is somebody there. Now the car is passed, but it's still there in my blind spot a little bit. And what were to happen if I were to maybe just look over and that car is not there, but maybe I wanted to turn my turn signal on, you're going to see that light is going to flash to indicate that there is somebody there next to you. And then the rear cross traffic alert is a nice feature. I'm sure it's happened to everybody. You're in a parking lot, pulled in head first, backing out, maybe there's a big truck or a box truck or something next to you, and as you're backing out, you can't really see anything coming. So you kind of do one of these things where you lean back and you're trying to look, and somebody's walking, and you don't really see them. So what this is going to do, or maybe a vehicle is coming along too that you don't see. What that rear cross traffic is going to do is you're going to have your backup camera pop up here on your screen, and that's going to use the radar sensors that are in the back corners of the vehicle, and it's going to sense both directions to let you know if anything is coming. Again, if there is a person walking, a car, anything like that, your seat's going to vibrate, and on the screen you're going to see a little red arrow flash either right or left with a red triangle warning you that there's somebody coming from that direction, whether it's right or left. Now, just kind of getting into the interior here of the sports, a little bit different. So with all of Cadillac's vehicles, depending on your interior color, your trim pieces that are along the dashboard and on the steering wheel are going to be different materials, whether it's brushed aluminum, wood, what have you. In the sports, what you're going to get is the carbon fiber. So along the steering wheel here, you have carbon fiber. Along the dashboard over here, you also have it. And along the door panels right above your door handle, you have the carbon fiber. So it just gives you a kind of a sportier look to the inside of the vehicle. Right off the bat, I mean, one of the big other things, I have a lot of people ask me what the difference is with the sport, between the sport and, let's just say, a premium luxury, because they'll say that you can get the same equipment on both vehicles, but the sports tend to be a little bit more expensive by a couple $1,000s. And everybody always asks, what's the difference? The biggest difference between the sports and any of the premium luxuries or any of the other trim levels, your luxury there, is going to be the all-wheel drive system that is set up in the vehicle. All-wheel drive, everybody knows, it's all kind of put together with your traction control, your StabiliTrak, all for safety reasons. So you're driving in the winter, maybe one of your wheels starts to spin on ice or snow. Automatically, what that StabiliTrak and traction control is going to do is it's going to maybe cut down some power to the engine by either maybe shutting down a cylinder or two, cutting off a couple of the spark plugs maybe. Also going to use your anti-lock brakes to try to slow the vehicle down, to try to catch up with that wheel is basically what it's trying to do. So with the all-wheel drive system in the sports, you still have that StabiliTrak, you still have that safety feature stuff, but what it's going to do is now if your wheel is spinning, let's say we're driving and my front right wheel here starts to spin. Instead of you losing power immediately like you would normally do, what it's going to do is it's going to cut all of the power to that wheel, and it's going to shift 100% of the power across the axle to the other wheel. So you don't have that loss of power immediately like you would in one of the other all-wheel drive systems. And again, what it's going to do is that StabiliTrak and traction control may kick in if that switches across, and maybe this wheel also can't get full traction. So what it's going to do is it's still checking if both of the wheels on one axle are having an issue with traction, then that StabiliTrak and traction control kicks in. But it's not immediate like it is on the other one. So that's the biggest thing. So it's actually a big upgrade as far as the all-wheel drive system goes between the two. They did a little bit of a refresh where they got rid of your controls up here for your radio and your volume. They put your controls down here, so you have your volume, and you can go hands-free without having to touch the screen. You can still use it as a touch screen if you want, but you do have your controls down here to also control those. So that, and then the shifter is different than it was previously. It's still electronic, still looks the same. You still have the button on the side that you're going to have to push in to come out of park. You're going to pull straight back into drive. And again, all of these come with a manual mode. So I have a lot of people that are going to ask me what that M stands for. So it's manual. So if I'm driving, I pull that back, it switches over to M. Up here on the driver information screen, it's going to have my gear select. So it says M6, showing you that I'm in 6th gear. Again, it has the shifter paddles behind the steering wheel. So I shift down, I'm into M5, M4. So it just gives you a sportier driving experience. To get back out of that, you just pull it straight back again, goes right back into drive. But again, now when you want to go into reverse, you're just going to push that button again, straight forward, and you'll actually feel it kind of hit a little bit of a stop. That's your neutral position, and it's going to force you to push it forward a little bit more to get into reverse. But again, you're going to have more of that intuitive. It's more similar now to the shifters that are typically in a console like this, where it's just forward and back. So I've had a lot of people comment that they like this new setup better than the old one. It's a very smooth ride, very quiet ride. The seats are really comfortable. Everything is pretty, close to where you're sitting. The ergonomics are really good. It's very comfortable. Again, the 9-speed transmission, shifting, you typically don't feel it very much. It shifts through the gears flawlessly, and again, just with all of that extra, horsepower that they have now in the V6, mated with that transmission, it's just a really great driving vehicle. Very comfortable, very quiet. Familiar at all with Cadillacs in the past with the Q system? They tended to have some issues here and there. This new system is very intuitive. Everything is right here. It's very easy to use. Reacts very quickly with everything. Sometimes the Qs tended to have a little bit of a lag. You would touch something, it took a little bit of time to get into it. This is very quick and precise, and works a lot better. One of my favorite features of these vehicles also are the panoramic sunroof, and it just really lets in a lot of light. Opens the vehicle up, especially in this vehicle with a black interior. When that shade is closed, sometimes it feels a little bit closed in. If you have people riding with you in the back, maybe you have some people that are a little claustrophobic, maybe get car sick riding in the back because everything tends to feel a little bit more closed in. You can open this shade up, and it just really opens things up back there with having that whole glass panel across the roof like that. So all the newer sunroof, when they open up, you're going to have that wind guard that kicks up. Looks like a little mesh net across there, but what it's doing is it's allowing that air to still come in here, but kind of deflecting it a little bit and cutting it down so it's not just kind of blowing into the car and, you know, making the people in the back just get wind blown back there. The Bose stereo system in these also that you're going to get, really great. Again, if you've, you know, experienced the Bose system in any of the Cadillacs before, that's usually one of those things that people want. They like that, the sound, the crispness, the clarity, the bass, everything that you get with the Bose system. Brushed aluminum grills on the front doors, also in the back passenger doors, and then you're going to have your little stamp right here where it says Bose Performance Series. So it's just really nice. It kind of, you know, you still have on the lower part of the door where your speakers are, you still have that Bose logo that goes across there, but this is just a really nice feature, and I think it's very classy looking. You do have your speakers up here in the A-pillars also that they changed, and they went with the brushed aluminum grills on those also, that were previously, that was just a, depending on what color the pillar was, it was just a piece of plastic that was colored the same and just blended in with everything. So you know, just a lot of classy touches that they've done to just kind of make the interior again that much more luxurious feeling. Another feature that they added to these that's a nice feature is you have a motion detector. So there's a button right here, and what that's going to do is when you get out of the vehicle, shut the vehicle off, that motion detector is going to go off, and there's sensors right here that kind of detect through the whole vehicle. So if there's any movement inside of the vehicle, let's say maybe you get out and you didn't lock your doors, and you get out of the vehicle, shut it off, that motion detector is going to turn on. Doors open up, maybe if you have the windows down and somebody reaches in to try to get something out of the vehicle, it's going to set off an alarm, and that alarm is separate from your typical horn alarm that's going to go off and blow the horn and flash the lights. Or maybe you're a person who tends to take your dogs with you on trips, and you're running into the store, and same thing, you're going to shut the vehicle off, run in real quick to grab something. There, the button right here is to shut that feature off. So as I tell people, when you push it, you're going to get a little yellow indicator, and it'll tell you up on your driver information screen that the motion sensor is off. So you want to make sure that you disable that feature before you go into the store to prevent that alarm from going off. So all of the Cadillacs now are going to come with HD backup cameras, which is really nice because, you know, some of the backup cameras in the past and some of them that are in vehicles currently, you put it in reverse and it helps, but you look at that picture and it's either pixelated or sometimes it's blurry. At night it can tend to, you know, have a different look to it. It's not very clear. These HD cameras have gone and just kind of really stepped everything up. It's very clear, very precise. If you have these equipped where you have your overhead 360 view, it's just really, really nice because you're going to have your backup camera. You also have your forward-facing camera. You have that 360 view, and everything is in HD. Very clear. You know, you're going to see what's behind you, what's in front of you, what's next to you. You're not going to look on the screen like you did in the past and kind of see something, but you weren't 100% sure what it is. So, and what you can do is you do have that ladder there. You can take that off if you want, but when you're backing up, as you turn the steering wheel, those lines are going to move, and those lines are actually there to help you with parking. So they're actually segmented there in distance. So you have these two little red lines, and that's a distance anywhere between 12 inches to 18 inches from your rear bumper. And then as you just go out, that's a 2-foot mark, and then it just doubles as it goes out further. So 4 feet, 8 feet, 16 feet. So again, you have a lot of people, sometimes they're not really comfortable trusting these cameras. So what you can do is you can actually use those, and if you're backing up towards a wall or another vehicle, you know, and then you're going to want to watch here for this. So when this bottom line is lined up, if you're backing up towards a wall, lined up with the bottom of the wall, you're going to be about 2 feet from that wall behind you. So, you know, one of those things, it's there for a reason, safety reason. a nice safety feature that goes hand in hand with your parking sensors in the rear bumper. So I tell people, start to use that camera a lot. Trust the camera, a little bit more. It's there for a reason. All right, guys, so that was our ride along in the 2021 Cadillac XT5 Sport. Hopefully you had a good time, good as I had driving the vehicle. It's, again, beautiful vehicle. If you guys have any questions, stop down and see us right off of Route 30 in Greensburg, or you can check us out on the web at smailcadillac.com.